Hello, my beautiful fashionistas. Welcome back to Yvonne Winifred UG. Today's tutorial is inspired by this beautiful straight max off-shoulder dress, and you can make it mini or midi or even max like this, or you can make it midi and add anything like a circle skirt or a pleated skirt or anything. So let us start the video. So for me today, this is the fabric I'm working with, and it is short as you see the length, and it has these beautiful batiks, very artistic and fashion forward. So guys, aligning my front on top of the back has a zipper allowance, and it is the first folded fabric. So this is the front on top. So guys, usually when we are working with off shoulder, we take off of about 4 inches, 5 or 6 or even 7, but in this case I'm going to take off 6 inches like this. So the off shoulder will start from the 6-inch mark, and remember we will need half an inch as the joining allowance of this off-shoulder dress to the off-shoulder band. The dress has an off-shoulder band on top. That's why even I considered taking off 6 inches. The off-shoulder band will be 2.5 inches. So now taking the 6-inch mark along the half-inch line that we've marked on top, I marked at the 16-inch mark for the waistline. I went down by 8 inches for the hip line, and I just added about 5 inches, then 1 inch for the sewing allowance. The excess I'll just cut it out. So that is the part that I'm working with first. So let me just elongate these lines as you see like this, because we are going to use them. So guys, for this I'm going to mark, I think you're seeing how I'm placing my tape measure. So I'm marking at the 8th-inch mark for the chest line. So this is the off-shoulder, chest line, waistline, hip line, and the full length for now. So on the very first line, I'm just going to mark half of the shoulder measurement, which is 7.5 inches for now just. So I'm going to mark half of the nipple to nipple measurement, which 3.5 inches plus half an inch for the sewing of the dart, and mark the 4 inches on all these lines. That is the half of the nipple to nipple measurement. So these markings are helping me get this straight line where I'm going to divide all my pieces into 2. So I'll have the middle pieces and the side pieces. So on top here, the very first line, I'm going to mark 0.75 inches on the either sides of this line that I've just marked, so that I shape in the off shoulder on top here, so that there is no gaping. If you want, you can even take in your waist by marking half an inch on either sides, but I don't want to do that now. So after I connect to the waistline, just simply like that, and I'll be cutting along those marked lines. So after there, I'm just going to divide the bust measurement by 4 plus that intake that we took in. You measure what you have there. It's about 1.25 inches. You add it to the quarter of the bust measurement plus the 2 inches sewing allowance, since we will be using lining. Then you go back even on top here, you take in this dart allowance that we took out. You have to place it back, then consider the 7.5 that we considered for half of the shoulder measurement plus that 1.5 inches. Mark it down, then add the sewing allowance like that. So then we are going to form the armhole curve on top here. So this is what I made. So after there, you're also going to mark a quarter of the waist measurement, or the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for the dart that will be sewing and the 2 inches sewing allowance. Then the same even at the hip line. Hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch as the dart allowance and the 2 inches sewing allowance. So guys, whatever we have here at the hip line, I'm going to reduce it by 1 inch and mark it down here at the full length of the hemline of this first part. Remember, I told you I'm going to add a circle part later to finish up this dress. So I'm going to join these markings first to form the shape of this beautiful dress. So I do that simply as you see and form out a beautiful shape. So right away after, I just cut it out simply as you see, the armhole, and then I'm going to cut off this part. I'm not going to use it. Let me just cut it off. So this is what I have. So guys, don't forget to label your pieces, side pieces, the middle pieces. I always mark F1 for the center pieces for the front, and then B1 for the center pieces for the back, and even B2 for the side pieces, or F2 for the side pieces. So I just cut out this dart just simply as you've seen. So now guys, at this point I'm working with the center back piece. I'm marking where the waistline is at the center back piece. This is the center back piece, or where the zipper allowances is. So I'm marking half an inch here, and I'm going to connect from the waistline at that half an inch to the top here where the center back starts from. So the half inch is only and only at the waistline. That is because we need to avoid the bulge or the zipper bulge at the back. When the dress is finished, it will be neatly curving at the center back. So I also label my pieces before I misplace them. So guys, after, I'm going to cut this bulge out. Actually, this is done at the zipper allowance. So after, the dress will be, when the person puts it on, it will be so neatly curving in the back. So guys, right away I'm just getting my linings. I'm using black cotton linings, as you see, just folding in so that I get 2 pieces for the side back. I'm cutting the side back first, as you see, like this. Place some heavy things on top so that it does not move. So I'm duplicating my main pieces to form the linings, and I'm going to do this same process for all the parts that I already cut out, that is front side pieces, front center pieces, and even for the back. So you see, 2 linings, 2 pieces, that is the side pieces. For the back, I'm going to cut even these center back pieces, do the same even to the front pieces, and after all the cutting, this is what I got. So you see, here we are, and these are the front pieces. So this is the center front piece, the lining, and this is the main piece. So these are the side pieces. They are 2 for the front. They will be at the side like that, and to sew them up, I'll just put right sides facing each other, side piece to the center front piece, and join by half an inch. Opening it up, it will be like that. Even this side, I will do the same. So starting from up, going down by half an inch, and it will be beautifully done like that. And I'll do the same to the lining pieces for the front, and then for the back and the main pieces. And a few moments later, this is what I have. So I hope you know how to sew, and I'm sure you do. So you can just follow the process. And these are the pieces that I've joined. These are the center back pieces joined with the side pieces, that is front and lining. And I'm going to sew from the armhole curve and the sides. I will take it in like that, starting the back pieces. Sew by 1/2 inch only the armhole and the side piece. I'll leave the upper part and the center or the zipper allowance open like that, and I'll do the same even to the front pieces. This is how it looks like after joining. I'll take in from the armhole and the side pieces, both sides, and this is how it looks like. So I use the lining to change or to turn the main piece, and this is how the armhole curves look like now. By the way, after turning, I joined front to the back along the sides by the sewing allowance that we left of about 1 inch or close to 3/4 of an inch. So now back is joined to the front, and even part of the zipper allowance at the back is taken in, and I left the zipper allowance open for later. So this is it. So now we need to cut the off shoulder band. It will be about 2.5 inches, but I will cut it on fold. I need about 2.5 inches and a 1/2 inch for sewing, and then here down I'll need a circle piece, as I told you before. So I want my entire dress to, anyway, let me first cut the off shoulder band. So guys, I've marked a line that is a little bit diagonal. As you see, I want my band to be a little bit on a diagonal and a bias. So it is 42 inches long. I'm working with an off shoulder of 40 inches plus 2 inches for the zipper allowances at the back, and then its width will be 3 inches, but it will be on fold, so I marked 6 inches. So here in the width is 6 inches, then the length, as I told you, I'm working with 42 inches. I added the zipper allowance also. So I cut it out kind of on a bias or kind of diagonally, because I want it to sit very neatly around the shoulders of the person. So on fold it will be just like this, just like that. So this is how I'm going to attach it, guys. There are 2 ways you can attach it, and the first one, you can start from the zipper allowance at the back before attaching the zipper and make it right side facing each other. You can even add interfacing in between there, but mine's just on fold. So I'm going to join by 1/2 inch like this, going around all up to the other side of the zipper allowance, and after just top stitch on top like this, folding in this 1/2 inch allowance that we added, especially here along around the curve. Or you can even just sandwich your dress into this off shoulder band and then just top stitch. The other method is by getting the center front, the midpoint of this dress has the center front and also the midpoint of the off shoulder band, and then align them together, sandwich the dress into the band, or even just sew by 1/2 inch and later top stitch it all around up to the back. You can even first finish the middle, that's only the front, and even the back afterwards. So after, guys, I even attached the zipper simply as you see. I'm sorry about the noise. If you hear any noise, I'm sorry, but we have to move on no matter what. So this is the 1/2 inch that I folded in like that. The zipper is finished very properly like this. And now I just have to begin attaching the circle part. So if you only want the off shoulder part of it, you can even end there. So you see, after I told you we considered the 6-inch mark, I went up when anyway after the band it goes up to like 4-inch mark. So guys, measuring this hemline with it, I have 18.5 times 2, you get around 37. So I'm going to divide the 37 by 6.28, a constant we use when we are working with full circles. And then the length, remember this was ending at around 30 inches of her, so I want my full dress to end at 40 inches, so I need about 9 inches more. So the circle piece has to be about 11 inches with seam allowances, or 11.5 inches. So guys, moving on, I'm folding once like this, kind of a square, and my fold is about 16 inches. Remember, dividing the 37 by the 6.28, I got about 5.8 plus that 10 inches. I'm folding around 16 inches. So I'm folding again like this. So now it's like I formed this square. So I folded twice. I'm not folding diagonally for this full circle. So this is what I have so far. So from the midpoint here, from the tip where we're going to measure from there, on all sides I have about 16 inches. So now I'm going to measure 5.8, close to 6 inches. I used 6, but it ended up being not very big, but I had an excess that I pleated, as you'll be seeing later. So I marked 6 inches. That is going to be kind of the waistline, or the opening that we are going to join to our dress along the hemline. So I'm now measuring 10 inches. That is for the 10 inches for the length of this circle piece, like that. And I'm just going to cut whatever I've marked, simply like that. So instead of 11, I worked with 10 inches, and on top here I wouldn't have cut, I would have measured, because I ended up with an excess. So this is the circle piece, but thank God with fashion you can just create any other design. So I pleated it, as you will be seeing. So you see I have 20 inches, yet I wanted 37, but we move on no matter what. So I'm just going to pin my circle piece around this dress, simply as you see, starting from the sides. Yes, because I want the excess to be at the back. So from the side here I'm pinning it, coming to the front like this, and then continuing pinning it down to the side, and then whatever I'm having as the excess, I'm just going to pleat it, just simply pleating, no measurement really needed. I'm just pleating it at the center back line, that line that we have at the center back, exactly there, and then pin it down. And I'm going to join by 1/2 inch, right sides facing each other, and after this is it. So that is the pleat at the center back. This is the finished dress, and my mannequin is smaller than the dress, so I use the peg, as you see. Oh guys, pray for me that I get a mannequin with hands. This one has no hands. So this is the front piece. This is how the front of the dress looks like, and from the side, the armhole, that is how it looks like, and I'm loving it. It came out so beautiful, though the owner has not tried it yet, but that is the circle piece. It is so beautiful. So don't forget to subscribe.